Hello everyone, and welcome to Raising Vibrations with myself, Simon. Today I'm going to be going along with my 12 sign series for you, and we're going to be focusing on the archetype of Aries, okay, in the astrology chart. As you know, with all the series that I do, there's always an introduction that kind of gives you an explanation of why it is and how to interact with this in the best possible way. So please make sure to go check that out. A link will come up in the top of the screen over here to just send you there. And then once you've done that, and then you can continue watching the series with a very strong intention behind why and how to extract the best information from this, okay? All right, great. So, firstly, in evolutionary astrology, and to me it makes no sense to see it any other way, is that the archetype of Aries, the archetype of Mars, and the archetype of the first house in the astrology chart all represent the same symbol. They all represent the same thing, okay? They represent new beginnings. They represent instinctual change. And they represent a desire to go out and explore something that has never been explored before, okay? So change, exploration, and a new direction. I lost my train of thought about the middle one, pardon me. But that's what it does, okay? So the necessity to explore something that's never been done before, the instinctual change, and a new direction. That's basically what it is. This all comes from, as I mentioned in the introduction video, the evolutionary impulse of instinctual exploration. This is what it is. It is instinctual exploration. This all manifests from instinctual exploration. A desire to separate from the known. Okay? Mars, Aries, first house. The reason why these symbols are all representative in the birth chart and the same is because consciousness in itself works through the law of the Trinity, and so therefore the three signs themselves, Aries, Mars, first house, they're all the same. So if you're wanting to look at where you have instinctual change that is emanating deep from the soul, Pluto, you need to recognize and understand and assimilate the symbols in your birth chart where the sign Aries is, the house cusp. So if Aries is on your second house, you're knowing that there's an instinctual change regarding the way that you inwardly relate to yourself. Okay? What is the sign in the first house? So that must be your rising sign. Okay? That must be, let's say, for instance, Pisces. So in this particular instance, complete and utter interesting archetype, the instinctual change is inducing a culmination. Pisces is about culmination. So therefore you have a culminating effect that is leading to a new direction. Okay, and then where's Mars in the chart? You will probably find that Mars is probably sitting in the 12th house, or Mars would be conjunct Venus. There will always be that repeating theme that will come through to you. Okay? So look where Mars is in the birth chart and assimilate those three together, and you'll extract where you are needing to create instinctual change in life, where you need to act upon impulse, where there is no sense of constriction. Okay, this is where you just need to go and act on instinct. Okay, so when you're looking at Aries, Mars, first house, instinctual change, evolutionary impulse for a new direction, and the desire to explore something that has never been done before. Okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a natural zodiac, and I'm going to show you some of the things that are associated with Aries so that you can understand the core dynamics that are within this archetype, okay? So I'm going to go over there right now. Aries, learn Astrology Aries. This is the archetype of Aries. What you're looking at is the natural zodiac. So the first house, the sign that's ruling your first house, the constellation Aries itself, and wherever Mars is in your chart will tell you where this new direction is manifesting itself from. Okay? If you have a look, I've got green dots over there. Green dots are sextiles towards Aries. Sextiles are 60 degrees apart signs. So it's 30, 60, okay? Because Aquarius starts there. So in the archetype of Aries, there is a necessity for freedom. In the archetype of Aries, there is a necessity for diversity and exploration. So Aries itself is being triggered, being influenced, being supported by the archetype of freedom and the archetype of diversity, i.e. exploration, curiosity. So if you have Aries in your chart or strong Aries, there is a necessity to focus on freedom and a necessity to focus on diversity. These are instinctual to you, okay? The orange type of circles represent squares, and so those are kind of tension aspects to Aries. This is where Aries is trying to learn how to be better. And so Aries is now in Cancer. The square to Cancer is correlating to the deep need for developing security from within. Every single time you've tried something new that you've never ever done before, you've always had to face feelings of anxiety, feelings of security needs, etc., etc. And the reason why is because there is a necessity to feel secure in all moments. And when you're doing something completely new in your life, you will naturally be challenged by your security needs. So inner security is very important for Aries. And the archetype of Aries is also making the square to Capricorn. And so this is the necessity for responsibility. How do you respond to things? Okay? It's teaching us that we have a responsibility to our environment. We have a responsibility to our lives. And the square to Aries from Capricorn to Aries is teaching us that how we respond to our environment and how we respond to society is completely and utterly dictated and influenced by our security. Okay? And I'll elaborate a little bit more on that when I get to Libra. So Aries is part of the air trine with Leo and Sagittarius, and so therefore we naturally have the facilitation of special purpose. The reason as to why we need to act upon the instinct and what Aries is teaching us is to follow our individual's feeling of special purpose. When we follow that and we explore that, we initially start to find out what that special destiny is about. Aries and Leo, the trine, teaches us how to follow our destiny, how to find our special gift. And the trine from Aries to Sag is teaching us that ability to go ahead and explore our truth, to express our truth. Okay? And now finally we get to the inconjuncts. Aries is naturally influenced by Scorpio and Virgo. And the inconjunct between Virgo and Aries is teaching us that when we are going in random directions, there is a huge possibility for actually accomplishing nothing. And so Virgo teaches Aries to learn through direct experience from the environment, right? Because we're exploring and we don't know anything, pay attention to what an environment is teaching you. If you're expressing yourself a certain way and you're getting negative responses, create the necessary inward reflection, Virgo, that leads to a confrontation of limitations and then evolution. Scorpio teaches us where we confront our limitations and then we evolve through them. So the square between, the inconjunct between Aries and Virgo is teaching that necessary response to your environment that leads to then a deeper understanding about why it is that I'm doing the things that I'm doing. Okay? The inconjunct between Scorpio and Aries, on one level, teaches us about that need to confront those inner limitations. But it's actually teaching us the nature of evolution. Because Aries itself is going in an instinctually new direction. And Scorpio is going, I'm here to understand the deep core aspects of myself. Aries is masculine, Scorpio is feminine. Scorpio is going inward and holding on, Aries is going outward and letting go. So when these two interact with each other, there is a natural fear of entrapment that occurs. So if you've got Mars in the 8th house and Mars in Scorpio, you'll naturally feel that one energy going in one direction and the other energy going in the other direction. What's being taught here is that essentially in our souls, there is a dual desire of wanting to stay secure and wanting to explore something. And in that relationship that we have the natural law of separating desires. The desire to separate from something that is known and then to explore what that is. And on a very grand level, that is what life is about. We separate from the womb, as it were, that then leads us into the exploration of this journey. Okay? Fantastic, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this first video and that it brought you some illumination. And I really hope that this brings you excitement in terms of how the next series or that next signs are going to happen. Until then, take and have a good day. Bye-bye.